One of the great things about the CX Summit being held in Cartagena, Colombia, is that after the event, you can always take a few days to relax in the Caribbean Sea here just outside of Cartagena. I came to Isla Mucura, which is an island that you can get to by a fast boat ride right from Cartagena. The dock is near the convention center. This isn't the only one. There are quite a few little islands that you can escape. They have day passes, or they call pasadilla in Spanish, and they'll just take you there. Like you'll leave at 8 or 9 in the morning, and then 3 or 4 in the afternoon they bring you back in kind of an all-inclusive. Well, you're going to buy drinks and things, but it'll include the lunch and the transportation and such. Mucura is a relaxing island. It has that quiet vibe. There are a few families that live here, so there's one other hotel on the island, and then there's a hostel as well, and then there's a very small, not even a town, but like a hamlet, and about 25 families live here on the island. Off in the distance, it's kind of behind me, you can't see it, there's an island called Tintipan. Tintipan is more of kind of a party island, and you're going to go there and hear music and speakers and people jumping around and families playing in the beach and that kind of atmosphere. We're also very close to El Islote, which is, it calls itself the most densely inhabited island in the world. I don't know if that's true. It very well may be. It's really tiny, and a bunch of families live on this one little, it's more like a key. And you can actually see it if you go to the other side of this island. You can see it from here. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this year's CX Summit by BPro. The theme, as you would expect, artificial intelligence, no surprise here. But of course, last year that was also a big thing. Last year was like bring the bots, bring the bots, bring the bots. But now people are becoming more mature about this, and we have to measure things like consumer sentiment. It's not enough to just think you can replace all of your agents with AI bots, or that you can just run an AI-only enterprise. The BPOs that were in attendance, the event is sponsored by BPro, which is the Colombian Industry Association for the BPO industry, which includes contact centers. Ana Karina Kessup is the leader of that organization. And the BPOs are grappling with, what do we look like as a business? Because we have all of these agents, and before we sold FTEs and we sold how many seats, but things are becoming more complex because now companies are looking to buy outcomes rather than butts and seats, as they say in the industry. And so the BPOs are grappling with the evolution and the sand shifting under their feet, literally the sand shifting under their feet. But then you have all of these technology providers there, the ones that you see every year that are selling phone systems and infrastructure and such. The ones that are saying, hey, we can build bots for you, they're still there. But actually they're under threat because that's become so easy, and the knowledge base inside of organizations is mature enough. You don't need to go out there and pay outside parties to do that. You can do it yourself. And so what's happening is that there's actually disruption even within the disruptors. And so one of the things that stood out this year, BPro always does a great job in terms of the speakers that they bring in. Colombia has been in a period for the past 3 years of decelerated investment. There's still investment coming in, and we've got some great natural swaying because of the breeze that we have being here on an island. But a lot of the speakers talked about the resilience of Colombia, how Colombia goes through slowdowns and then things speed up. And after a 3-year sort of slowdown, things are looking optimistic for an increase in investment coming up in the next 18 months or so. We have elections later this month. I'm recording this in May, and a lot will depend upon the outcomes of these elections, of course, presidential elections, but also the discussion remains around really pleasing your customer or client. And people look at their CX operations, their customer experience operations, as a cost center too often, and they just look at let's cut costs. let's automate everything. But what happens is that you end up with pissed off customers, and your pissed off customers leave. This isn't anything controversial that I'm saying or new, but a lot of the bot producers or providers and a lot of the companies that are rushing to these things, whether they're pressured internally by cost considerations, are sort of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. They'll decrease costs so much, and they'll cut costs, and they'll say, let's make everything a bot face, let's make everything into artificial intelligence. And then your customers are stuck in a loop. It reminds me of back in the 1990s, in the old days, when IVRs first came out, integrated or intelligent voice response, and it was like press 1 for this, or you could talk to it and it would route your call, and the idea was that it would replace receptionists and replace secretaries and such. Well, it was implemented poorly in a lot of cases and really just led to customers leaving and going to other service providers. Here in Colombia, we had problems with Tigo, awful problems with Tigo, the Tigo Une, the service provider. And I was so upset. We couldn't really reach anybody. You were stuck in these stupid loops, and their WhatsApp service didn't work. It was just like, hi, I'm a bot and I'm here to help you. And it didn't work, basically. It just didn't function. And, oh, they cut costs, all right. They saved money, didn't they? Well, I went to go and switch to Claro. Okay, I said, I'm tired of this. I'll switch to Claro. So when I go to buy fiber optic service from Claro, what happened? I get routed to a WhatsApp, another chat bot. Now, I'm already a Claro customer even. You'd think I would be able to reach somebody. But I got routed to a chat bot. And I said, I want to buy your service. And I could show you the screen. It never went anywhere. Okay? They never even answered. So I went from bad service to even worse service. Not even behind the scenes, but even in the pre-sales when somebody there is willing to give you money. And so go ahead, implement all these bots and implement this AI and do it wrong and lose your customers. You keep cutting costs. That customer's a cost, right? Because they use your resources. See how well you do when you have no more pesky customers, no more pesky clients. So I was glad to see some of these things addressed, at least with the keynote speakers. I don't know how well the companies are implementing it. And then, of course, with your BPOs and your CX providers, they can, up to an extent, only do what their clients demand of them or what their clients are willing to pay for. So they might say you ought to have a high-touch service and concierge service and all these different things like that. But if their client's willing to pay for it, it doesn't matter. You can have an airplane with all first-class seats. But if people want to fly on Spirit and eat bologna sandwiches, then that's what they're going to pay for. So nobody's going to be in your first class plane. I think you need to have a balance, but you need to also have minimum standards of service and understand if you are providing joy for your customers. Understand if your customers are really enthusiastic about you. We talked about the old net promoter scores. Are they net promoters of your brand? But not just a quantitative metric, but think of it qualitatively. Are they really enthusiastic? And you can think about brands that people love and ask yourself, are you living up to that standard? Because that is more efficient and more effective than any advertising that you can do, is really giving your customers a little more than they expect, but at least give them what they expect. Now, unfortunately, in the domestic market in Colombia, the bar has been set pretty low. People they've been trained to expect poor service. I've seen that. People expect to go into a bank and wait 2 hours. If you're a normal customer, if you're a super VIP customer, they have these computerized systems, and when you log in and say, I want to go to the cashier, they know how important you are as a customer, and nobody knows what ticket the other person has, so they'll actually move you to the front of your line if you're a big shot. They'll do that for you without anybody else knowing. But after a while, you sit there in the waiting room of the lobby of the bank, and then you'll see people who came in after you and they go up before you, and you wonder what happened. But still, people have been accustomed to poor service. There's a domestic brand of resorts, and you go to them and you see people lined up at the outside bar, like at a place like where I am right now. Now, this is a nice place. They don't do that here, but you'll see with these little plastic cups, and they're lined up, and they'll wait 10 or 15 minutes in line to get a drink, like they're in college or something like that. And they think that's a high-end resort. They haven't been to a place like a Hyatt Ziva or Zilara or Riu Palace or Bavaro Palace, and a place like Montego Bay or Punta Cana, or even other places. And those are not even the most exclusive places. You can go off to St. Bartolomeo or somewhere like that and get an even higher level of service. But my point is that it's kind of sad, because when people have been accustomed to a poor level of service, then they're not going to leave. They just expect that's what it's like. That's what they've come to expect. So the service provider that can provide a little bit more than the rest is going to have a competitive advantage. And there are people out there, there's a considerable market. And as you look at countries like Colombia and Argentina and Peru, Chile, Panama, you already have people with the middle income tier who have some disposable income who are willing to pay more. They will pay you a reasonable amount more to get a higher level of service. It doesn't need to be concierge white glove service, but to be attentive, to be able to reach a human. And here's a innovative idea. How about having someone, whether it's at the call center or point of contact, who has the ability to own your problem until it's resolved? Hi, Mr. Perez, I'm Juan, and I understand you have this problem, and I'm going to work with you and be your point of contact until we get this problem solved. And then Juan, inside of the company, goes and brings in whatever resources he needs to bring in. Internally, I'm going to call the billing department, I'm going to call the technical department or whatever, or get the people out there to fix the cable that fell down, whatever that case might be, and own the problem, and then report back, Mr. Perez, this problem has been solved, or Mr. Perez, we had a delay, we didn't get out there today because there's a thunderstorm in your area and it's not safe for our guys to be up on the ladders right now, but we haven't forgotten about you and we'll get back to you tomorrow. Now, that doesn't happen right now. Right now, they just don't show up and figure that there's enough friction in you switching, or that the other side is just as piss poor that you won't bother switching. Or like what happened with me when I called to switch, the other side was so awful that they didn't even answer. And I'll name them. I have I have Tigo, and the damn internet didn't work and for weeks, and we called them and nobody comes out, you can't even get anybody. You cannot get a human, nobody answers. And then they would answer. My wife called them 3 different times. They said, we're going to send out a technician. The technician never showed up. There's errors in the billing, the address. We are in an entirely different city than where they have our billing address. I don't know how they ever got our service hooked up, but it was a nightmare. They never showed up, so they never came. I for what I do, I obviously need internet. So I said, screw it, we're going to switch over to Claro. Claro never even answered us. I'm using their channel or whatever, they never even answered us. So I can't expect any better service from that. Now, if somebody comes, and this is just, the phone system, the phone services here are terrible. Now, technically they work well when you have them. We've got 5G coverage. Finally, it came out late in Colombia, but we've got 5G coverage. I'm out here on an island in the middle of the Caribbean Sea and actually have 3G coverage. It works fine. The hotel has Wi-Fi, so we even have coverage out here on a remote island. I haven't seen any antennas anywhere, so they must have an antenna on an island not too far away. But anyway, technically the service is good, but the customer interaction is awful. And this is just one case. I can tell you about the airlines, I can tell you about things like grocery stores, and I'll do that. I'll get into some of the issues here. But I wanted to bring you this recap of this year's CX Summit event in Cartagena. I encourage you to attend next year. It will most likely be in May. It's always in May. And I think one year it was at the end of April, but it's basically in May. It's in Cartagena. It's put on by BPRO, which is the BPO and Customer Contact Center Industry Alliance. It is their industry organization that promotes the industry and represents them to government and such. and development of the sector. They went from negligible to 3.3% of Colombia's domestic product. So it's become an important industry when you consider, especially that petroleum is like half of it. So then you've got petroleum, then you've got everything else in there, and this is a significant player. Beyond that, so the event is CX Summit, C, letter X Summit in English. I think it's .co. It might be .co or .com, .co. We'll put it in the bottom thirds here. Anyway, reporting to you from the Caribbean Sea. I'm going to go and get in the beach for a little bit. And if were you there, are you going to come back? Do you have any questions about the event? I'm not any kind of official speaker for them, but I'll be glad to point you in the right direction or connect you with the right people. See you soon.